Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And if it's your
Hey,
first
hey,
time, thank you for coming through because we appreciate all the listeners, new and old. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my
yep.
co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials: YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and the Instagram at the Friends Pod. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment all that good shit. And yeah, what's good?
Yeah, man. Hey, not too much, man. Everything's good on my end. What's been going on with you? What's on your mind right now? Because we always talk about our weeks and shit like that. What's on your mind? Like, what you been thinking about?
Lately, what's been on my mind is how to advance myself personally, professionally. I know we discussed this plenty of times. Um, but yeah, I'm just trying to actually have a year of action. I'm trying to better myself and how I envision myself. That's where like I want to work to build to. So that's what I just want to make sure I'm always trying to look at what am I doing, what steps am I taking, and what is the baby steps to get to where I'm trying to be.
Yeah,
I,
tunnel
I've heard
vision.
that I've heard the idea of how some people they figure out where they want to be and then they work backwards. Have you ever did that?
No, kind of expand on that. What you mean by work backwards?
I don't want to name a particular person, but it's some very successful person. They said, "Hey, this is what I want, and this is where I want to be at in life in terms, you can say like money wise or something like that." And then they start there and they work their way backwards on the process of how to get there.
Okay, okay.
And I think that's a very interesting way to work because a lot of people always have goals and things of that nature where they'll think of what they want to do by the end of the year, or it could be a short term goal within a few years, or a long term goal within 10 years or more. But people don't really think of things at the end and work their way back.
I'm trying to see how does that look, So, for example, if you want to become a boxing champion, you can't just jump straight in the ring. You got to practice, you got to train, you got to spar, you know what I mean? So, I'm just kind of trying to figure out what is working backwards, like how would that work? And like what does that look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't work for all professions, but in the business world or something like that, you can imagine where you want to be. But actually, yeah, actually, I think it actually could work in like boxing and things like that. If you say, "Hey, I want to be the champion of the world," and then you start imagining what fights and what you have to do mentally and physically with your body to get you to that level, and how many fights you got to do and mentally work backwards to that goal. I feel like, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Also, like mentally work backwards, not like actually go do things in the backward order.
Yeah, mentally, you're just thinking it through, like mentally backwards and working your way, um, yeah, backwards, and how to get to that point. Mentally thinking about it the other way instead of work the natural way, which are people are just thinking, like I said, goals and say, hey, in the year, in the 5 years, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. People don't think about it at the grandiose big scheme of things and then work their way back a lot of times. So
But the thing about that is though, so you mentioned like so you have a picture of what's the end game, like what's your peak or whatever. But I feel like that there might be an issue with that because then you limit yourself, you know what I mean? So like, oh, if you want to become a championship boxer, then it's like, oh, that's it though. Like what else do you want to do? So that's kind of where I can
I
see
don't
it
think
going a
that's the
little.
way to think about it in particular. I think
Okay.
once you get there, then you come up with another plan
To do something
in
else, yeah.
life. Yeah. And yeah, it's like, damn, I got here and it's exactly how I thought. Like, you just do it again and think of like your
Hmm.
goals. There's a lot of people who get to $1 million. They're thinking like, all right, how can I get 1 billion now?
Hmm.
Like, I haven't heard so many hip hop figures and black people even other the name billion.
S- So
Like
many.
in like most people think that number is impossible to even attain. Like I remember for sure, like people say $1 billion. Like it just sounds like an unbelievable, unfathomable number. But now that we see entertainment people and public black people do that from like their profession, it makes the number seem much more attainable. That's why it's important to have people in those spaces.
No, that does make sense. I mean, yeah, a billion is definitely attainable. We see billionaires, but it don't happen every day, you know. But I guess it's something to shoot for, because like I said, you don't want to put no limit on it and be like, oh, I just want to get 500 million.
But
I just
there's
want to get
more and
one
more
million.
every day, though.
Yeah.
Not every day. Let me. I can't say every day, but
Uh, somewhat frequently.
they get sprinkled in like every 5 years, every few years.
Hmm.
The gap's starting to get smaller.
But yeah, that's a lot of money. Like a lot of, and then it becomes the conversation of like, what is having a billion versus being worth a billion? That's two totally different things as well. So, having a billion liquid cash, a lot of niggas don't have that. A lot of people in general do not
I'm
have
not
a
even.
million
I'm
liquid.
just throwing a number like unfathomable, like $1 billion. But
Yeah,
we ain't got to fixate on that number. It could be $1 million, 2 million, whatever people goal is. Not everybody want to be $1 billion rich or everybody's intention to make that amount of money because you don't really need that much money to live a happy life.
at all, at all.
So
Do you know how ghost I get if I got $1 billion? Like I'd be so gone. I'm sure I've talked about this on the podcast before, but like
you don't need $1 billion to even do that
that's what I'm
to go
saying.
ghost.
That's what I'm saying. Like shit, give me 20 million. I'm so like nigga. Do you understand? You niggas will never hear from me ever again. Like, I'm telling you, nobody in life will ever hear from me. I might change my identity, like duck off somewhere in fucking Boulder, Colorado, some random shit. Like I'm out.
I don't know if I would say 20 million is good enough for me to do all that, but
20?
I think I need a little bit. Uh,
Because at that point,
definitely, I could definitely see. Yeah, I could definitely live very modest and live out the rest of my life.
20 million not modest. What you mean? Like you could first buy a house. That's it. I mean,
Inflation,
obviously. I mean, true. That's true. But then
like
at that,
get
go ahead.
like a property. I mean, it depends on your location too. Like where you trying to be at.
Mm,
Like if you trying to be in bumfuck Oklahoma or some shit, and like get a property, get some acres for like a $1 million, and then just living out there, just making your own habitat in a way that you can live like that. But if I'm trying to just like live and do whatever I want, go anywhere I want, travel anywhere I want, eat wherever I want, um, make sure that I'm still able to invest in community and charities and do things of that nature, and still be able to make sure that whatever I want to do in terms of life or goals or things of that nature that I have in my mind is possible.
yeah, no, that is true. And I think that you would have to make that money work for itself at that point. Like as long as you can bring in at least 100,000 a year with that 20 million, like which you can do way more than that, but like as long as you can still have income and you have 20 million and you just have income coming in, like I think you could be good. Like, you know?
Yeah, for sure. If it's money that just keeps coming in, and yeah, then for sure 20 million you'd be good. If you still have like a steady flow kind of sprinkling in, but I don't know. I feel like people gotta think of like not only themselves but like their kids and family, and just
True. That's true.
depend on how big your family and who's around you. I mean, 20 million may be enough, like, but when you start thinking generational wealth and what you're trying to do, 20 million may not be enough. But I feel like it's all like small steps to get there. I just feel like once I get to that point, I will want more.
Hell yeah.
Like, so it wouldn't be like, oh, I just got here and like I'm just done. Like, I'm packing it up. Like, y'all handle this, and I'm just
Right.
like, like I don't think I know myself, and that's definitely wouldn't be my mind state at that point. So I think there's a lot of important things that people got to think about in terms of like how they gonna progress in life, And sometimes it's like coming up with the thinking and the planning. Maybe working forward ain't the best idea. Maybe working backwards and thinking in that way is a better idea. That's the only thing
Mhm.
I was trying to get to.
Right. I think yeah, that's definitely an interesting concept. I had to read into more into that just to kind of see exactly how that would look. But I guess other than that, we done rambled for long enough about 20 million and all that other shit. So we can go ahead and get into this first topic that we got for you folks. Let's see. You want to intro the first one?
Yeah, I go ahead. And the first one we got here is Call of Duty. Man, this game comes out with a new spinoff every year, it seems like. But besides that point, they just signed a 10-year deal to be on Nintendo. Microsoft and Nintendo are partnering up, becoming bros. And yeah, like it's coming to your Nintendo Switch, whatever Nintendo system is coming out in the future. So I want to know if the gamers are excited about this. Do you even care that Call of Duty is coming to Nintendo? I know a lot of people have been complaining, like, man, with the graphics, who really wants this game on this system, anyways? Unless Nintendo's planning on coming out with a system with better graphics, we're gonna get a better Sonic and Mario game in the future.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna practically look like a hedgehog. Like I don't know.
Wait, so they're saying that the Switch has bad graphics or Call of Duty has bad graphics?
Just Nintendo switching system.
Oh, does it? Oh,
Nintendo Switches and Nintendo systems in general, the graphics are really the games aren't. That's not the purpose of the system for like the best graphics, like how Microsoft, Xbox, and PlayStation, like they're trying to get the fastest processors. They're trying to get the best possible picture, crispest, quickest gameplay between screens. Like that's not what the Nintendo Switch is built for. So
not at all.
I feel like with this move, Nintendo has to be coming out with a new system soon. I feel like that's what this deal is alluding to me. Because I'm like, who wants to play Call of Duty on the Switch for real? Like,
Yeah.
they got to be coming out with something like in the future. There got to be something that they're working on together. That's to make this deal make sense because they paid 60 billion, I think.
Mm.
Like something ridiculous. Like Microsoft been dishing out money like crazy.
Well, yeah, because it's not gonna be on the Wii. It ain't gonna be on the Wii system. It ain't gonna be on the GameCube because them shit's old and obsolete. The Switch, like you said, is not really obviously it's not gonna be on the Game Boy. So yeah, I guess maybe they would be dropping something new, in the future, which they probably should because at the time, like when N64 was out or even the Super Nintendo, like when that shit was popping, like this shit was it. Like nigga was not fucking like I mean, obviously PlayStation came through and the Sega had a time as well, but Nintendo had the market share like back in the 80s and 90s. That was pretty much all we had, and then PlayStation started coming through doing their thing, and then Microsoft came through with their Xbox, and they was like, oh yeah, we're about to do this now too. So yeah, I would be excited to see what like a new Nintendo system would even look like. You know, now will Nintendo Switch users, which obviously that's all they have right now is the Switch, current gen, would they be excited to play Call of Duty? I highly doubt it. Like even if you know a nigga with a Switch, like he not no Call of Duty type of nigga. You know what I mean? Like people that play Switch be like on like Animal Crossing and shit like that. Like they be playing like different types of adventure games, like Pokemon. They might play
To me,
like you
it's always
said.
been a more physical game that I like to play on the Switch. Like I'm probably doing boxing or bowling, something where like I'm moving.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see this move. If they had a system that is very the next gen of the Switch or whatever Switch U whatever system, and they had that aspect, and they had the graphics like Call of Duty and the games like that. Like so, you get to play your Smash Bros, your Mario, all that stuff, and you get to play your Call of Duty and those type of different type of games that they may bring to Nintendo. Like that's a win to me. I might buy that system.
True, but you already have a PlayStation, so well, you did say Mario because you can't play Mario and all those classic Nintendo games on there. But
Yeah, you can't play none of those classic Mario Party, Smash Brothers, anything like that. Like
but nobody's buying the Switch to play Call of Duty. You can play that shit. You can get a Steam Deck right now, or you can get on Steam and buy it and play it on the PC, or you can play it on console.
it's just
So it's
buying
like,
an extra system, in my opinion. It's just like if it's all in one house here, I might as well just get this.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
That's
But
why
then,
it's kind of I think about it this way as well. Is it a smart move on Microsoft? Are they what are they getting out of this deal? Because it's giving Nintendo a lot of possibility to become one of the top systems again
for sure.
and be in
I
competition with the
don't know about
Xbox
that.
and the PlayStation.
I don't know. Just one game series that comes out one time a year where people have been playing it on other systems.
I'm not saying just this one game would change it, but I feel like if there's this one game, then we already know how this normally goes. There's probably more in the woodwork coming. Like once they see how this game goes and they see the success from how this goes on Nintendo, I think more games are gonna come.
You know what I feel like would be better? I feel like it would be better if classic Nintendo games would come over to other consoles. Like they put Mario Party and Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Sonic, and all that shit on PlayStation and Xbox.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like nobody would buy a fucking Switch if that had that. Like I'm not.
Exactly.
That's my whole point of saying why Nintendo has a good chance. If they were to get more titles and to start relying a little bit more on the resolution of the game, the picture and gameplay and speed, like then it would be a very strong competitor in my eyes because there's a lot of household names that Nintendo holds.
hmm Like, and I wonder if that's the reason why people not fucking with Nintendo is because they keep their titles, close to the heart or whatever you want to call it. Like they pretty much keep those, and maybe other companies feel like, damn, so they're just trying to. I mean, obviously they're trying to keep their market share, whatever they have left, right? They're trying to keep that market share. So maybe that's why other people not really fucking with it. I'm kind of surprised that Microsoft would have did this. Now, will it help Microsoft in the Call of Duty franchise?
What sells? Of course, they own it.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna, yeah, they gonna sell something. Like they definitely gonna sell something. People just gonna want to see what it's like, And let's talk about Call of Duty in general. Like Call of Duty is a casual gamer. To me, it's like something a casual gamer would play, right? And so, in terms of like that, yeah, maybe it could bring some casual Nintendo gamers might be on the Switch or the next gen Nintendo system. Like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and get this. It's easy to play, easy to plug in and play. I can just get online. I can play the story mode. I can play zombies. Like, yeah, that could help. But I don't see it being like a game changer for Microsoft or for Nintendo, to be honest. Like you said, if Nintendo want to step that game up and let's go ahead and drop this Wii Plus, this Wii X, whatever they want to call the shit. That might help Nintendo, but this Call of Duty shit, this shit not gonna do nothing for them. In my humble opinion, but could be wrong. I've been wrong before, so I
Yeah,
guess we're
we'll
gonna
see
see what
what
happens.
end up. Yeah, we'll definitely see.
Yeah. So, but other than that, wait. So you got a Nintendo Switch?
No, I didn't got one.
Oh, I thought you said you play. Okay, never mind. I thought you said you
No, I
played it.
would get one if
Oh, okay.
they start getting more titles like that. But no, I don't really have a Nintendo Switch no more, especially since I got the Oculus. I don't really need a Switch.
Yeah, one of my homeboys was telling me about the Steam Deck. I don't know if you heard of that before, but he said that that's better than the Switch. Like, so it's basically, you could play damn near any game on the Steam Deck, and it's handheld, similar to a Switch or a PSP. But you can play anything that you want. Just buy it on there, and so
Sound like some PC stuff.
no, it's handheld. Like it's
Mm.
you hold it, so it's like it ain't a PC. It's just like another handheld game system similar to a PSP, and I guess that's popping right now. So maybe that's why they did that. Maybe that's why Nintendo was like, okay, we got to do something to try to get some type of market share because I can imagine they probably suffering over there. Um,
Plus, Soldier Boy come out with his new game system. So
Another one.
no, the original one that he we used to always talk about, it never came out. And people never got him. He always said was having production issues, COVID. But now he's saying they about to get ready to send those game systems out. So everybody who bought them, your Soldier Boy system is coming. Big Draco said that.
I swear that shit came out before, but I guess it was never. Yeah, it's out. It's out.
People are having issues who to actually get them. The people can buy them, but people have been waiting for a while to receive them. And Soldier has been saying production issues, blah blah blah. They've been waiting like a year to get their system. Like where it's at.
Yeah, because I see
So
something from 2018, and nigga talking about I bought the new Soldier Boy console Soldier game. So like it's been out, but I guess yeah, some people having issues like actually receiving
yeah,
it for some reason.
nobody was getting them, but he was always out here promoting it. So shout out to Soldier Boy on actually if you get them systems out to people and people get to play on their system because apparently you can play hella games. So
Funny thing about it, that this is funny that you mentioned that because I just saw something from IGN talking about 2 weeks ago, Soldier Boy stops selling his Soldier game system. So I guess it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna actually come out. But I would love to
oh
see him.
wow.
Yes, I would love to see him get that W. But I don't think.
Well, never mind, Soldier Boy. Like it's dead. I take back the respect I have for you, and I hope you give them people back their money that you've
Right.
been holding on for all this damn time. Pay them, give them people their money back.
It's that easy. It's that easy. It's probably some shit with the
A shame.
copyright. 'Cause I know the nigga had like fucking Mario on that shit, and it's basically an emulator. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. But
Exactly. He
yeah,
thought he was gonna sell an emulator for money.
he almost did.
He almost got away with it too.
He almost. If it weren't for the meddling kids, man, the nigga finesser of the year, finesser of the century. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into this next topic that we got. Let's talk about let's see. This is a totally from left field, but I know we were discussing Lent earlier. So Lenten season is upon us. If y'all don't know, people of Catholic faith and people of Christian faith, and there's a I won't say celebration, but there is a holiday season, if you will, where called Lent. And so for Lent, it's usually a time for people to stop, reflect on the things that they're doing well, the things that they're not doing well, and a lot of times what people do during Lent is they give up things that they know are unhealthy for them, things that they know are becoming bad habits of theirs. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about that because I definitely gave up a couple of things for Lent this year, and I have been for you know decades at this point. Since I was a kid. I remember one year I went like vegan or vegetarian, which I'm kind of doing the same thing this year. But are you? I know you're not really super religious, but have you ever practiced Lent? Have you ever been through any of this type of shit?
I felt like when I was a little kid growing up, I I was in a very religious home. So my mother would always say, "It's the beginning of Lent. What do you want to give up?" It made
Hmm.
us give up something, and I gotta say, like I don't understand it. Like I never wanted to give up anything. I just didn't understand why for these days I gotta give up something for for blessings in the future. I suppose I guess, and that's the purpose of it. So just so you cleanse your mind. Like as a kid, you just don't understand these ideas.
Exactly right, and
You
that's the
just
thing.
giving
Like,
up. You just your parents just saying, telling, just taking something away from you. You be like, "What did I do? Did I do something?"
right, exactly. And it's like, so I understand as a kid, you're being like, what the fuck? Like, why are we doing this? But you don't understand, like, as an adult, like, why, or you don't have any type of understanding of, like, what it does for you, or just, like, how it all works.
Oh, I'm not Catholic or anything like that, so I'm not celebrating Lent. or anything or any holidays. I'm not super religious, so I'm no, I'm not doing that. But I mean, what about you?
But I'm saying like you don't understand like why. Like as a kid, you didn't understand why, but you don't find no value in it, even in a non-religious, you know, background. Like you don't think it's
Just giving up something. It don't have to be food at all.
no, it don't.
It could be anything. Just giving up stuff. But no, I don't see any value in it. If I don't see why you would have to put a holiday or anything around. If you feel like something's toxic to your life, then you should take steps to take it out of your life just naturally. It shouldn't only be for 40 days that Lent is. It should be something that you work on in your life to better.
I agree. I agree, but I feel like that's easier said than done. Like niggas say that, but we all have bad habits that we can't give up. You know what I mean? We all have vices that we can't, you know, can't shake it. So it's like I guess it's just a time for people to be intentional and fast from things. I don't know. That's how I take it. Like it's just a time to fast and just kind of recalibrate and get your mind right. You know what I mean? Just kind of take care of yourself because a lot of people will not take
What
care of
you give
themselves.
up?
I gave up. I gave up meat, so and chicken, fish, beef, any of that, all that shit. Gave up fried foods. I gave up fast food. I gave up pops, juices, and things like that. So mine is more of a health thing for like a food thing. A lot of other people they could do like, oh, I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna get on social media. I'm not going to uh, s- spend money exorbitantly. You know what I mean? So it could be fasting from pretty much anything that you feel that you need to fast from. Sometimes you got to be intentional about the things you do.
Yeah. To me, it just seemed like a very similar holiday to Ramadan.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the same ideas to cleanse and take away something from yourself. But I got this question. Why is it always like we got to take something away for us to have better clarity? Like, why is that idea so prevalent amongst religion? Like, does
Yeah.
God not want us to eat? Does he just not, he wants us to feel the emptiness or something that, like that feeling of missing out? Like, like, well, this Allah, like, I just don't, sometimes I'm just like trying to understand, like, what actually purpose do you feel like it's doing for you or people in the religion?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like does he
It
not want
might
us
make
to
you
have shit?
closer spiritually, like because people do pray more typically as well during this time. So it might be you might have feel a closer connection with the missing out of whatever you take out of your life. Like, does that create a closer connection? Like, I'm just I don't know. I always want to know.
I feel like humans probably been gluttonous. You know what I mean? Humans are people that we just do things to the extreme sometimes, and sometimes we do over indulge in things. And I think that whoever wrote the Bible, like he kind of knew that, and whoever created these holidays knew that people were drinking wine. Back in the day, it was probably just wine and whatever the fuck else they was doing back then. So I think that's what it is. And so, like I said, it's just a time to be intentional. Like, yeah, sometimes you got to take some shit away just to clear your mind and just to make sure that you on the right track. You know what I mean? Like a lot of shit that we do to our bodies every day is not it's not it, to be honest. But it could be fasting anyway. Like I said, social media, like fast from that shit. And so I think that's where it is. It's not that he don't want us to eat and get nourishment, but it's just like you're getting too much nourishment though. Like you're doing too much. So reel it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Americans can definitely learn from that. Like we big, so we
Yeah.
could reel it back sometimes, and we like everything supersized. So with extra butter and oil, so and fried.
And not even just a big thing. Like there's a lot of things, a lot of
I'm
health
just saying
issues
being
that we have.
healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't even got to be like like the weight. It could be like cancer. Things like that, heart disease, hypertension. You know what I mean? Which obviously comes from food too, but like A skinny nigga could be unhealthy as well because of what he put into his body. But other than that, I think that I'm just trying to be intentional about what the fuck I'm doing. Like that's my word of the week, intentional.
Hmm.
Just to kind of I don't know, feel better. I guess I don't know. I mean,
That's what
shit.
everyone should do for sure.
Yeah, food is good though. Like I don't. It's hard because niggas love to eat, man. Like niggas love a good fried pork chop. Like you can't really go wrong with that shit.
That's why I'm saying I just love food too much. But the idea of detoxing does sound like a good idea, um, especially if you eat like I do, because I eat a lot of unhealthy food. So yeah, detox may not be a bad idea.
No, no, it's not. It can't never be like, especially one of the things that I learned about detoxes though. Like if you do, like we was talking about the juice cleanse and shit like that. So say that I did that 100-day juice cleanse that we talked about on the episode where Tristan came on. Go check that shit out. I think it was called Pull the Ox. So check that joint out. But so let's say I did a 100-day juice cleanse. I can't on day 101. I can't just eat chicken and a fucking chicken sandwich with fries. You got to ease yourself back into the thing that you used to do. So I think that's one interesting thing about it too. Is like sometimes your body will like if you're not used to it, your body will just like malfunction because like damn, what the fuck you trying to put in them? Like we've been on carrot juice. Like what the fuck you trying to do? So that's kind of an interesting thing I learned about it, and I ain't really had no point to say with that, but that is what I learned. But yeah, detox is not bad.
Yeah, I can understand. Like I already said, it makes sense, and people should make choices that will better their life. So, I mean, it's just interesting to have the conversation on what importance do people actually feel like it has in the connection with religion.
That is an interesting thing. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't think God like, oh, niggas don't eat, like stop eating. But I don't know. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit we could break down with religion that goes on, and things like, well, nah, I ain't gonna get into it. But I mean, like
Yeah, we might as well
polygamy
go ahead
and
and get into the next topic.
yeah. All right.
So, this next topic we got here is passport bros. And that's been a very popular phrase lately, starting to grow on social media. And it's an online community of men that lives in the US that travels overseas to talk to women and have relationships with them. So it seemed like there's a connection with accusations of sex tourism and trafficking going along with being a passport bro. I guess I don't really, I'm gonna say my own personal opinion on it, because when I first seen this concept just flown around or whatever, and I seen the Fox articles and stuff of them breaking it down. So I don't like this idea of just because guys or ladies go out of the country. Well, I can say it's passport bros, so I'm gonna stick to bros. So guys going out the country and they're going out the country to meet women and things like that as I don't why are they viewing it as a negative? I feel like it's something that's been going on forever. And why are you only trying to keep men to have a relationship with people in your own country? Like there's a big world out here, there's plenty of people. You can meet some other cultures and get to connect with them as well. I think it's the idea, they saying how women overseas are not as educated and not submissive and things of that nature. So men here are going there to take advantage of them, making them seem like they're just not bright over there, or have no type of culture or identity that they can't decide who they're with. So I feel like there's a lot of different messed up connotations behind passport bros, and it's just like why aren't people making a big deal out of this? Because It's just people going overseas and traveling, having fun, just enjoying their life. Like, leave it at that. It ain't no specific negative connotation. People always try to put a negative connotation on just people just living their life, having a good time, doing what they want to do.
Well, I think that I agree with the criticism that you said. I do think it's some weird shit to do. Like I understand it. Like they definitely found a cheat code. It's something I would never do. But they found a cheat code where it's like, okay, well, my dollar goes further over there. You know, and depending on where you go, you could find a woman that's more submissive than maybe an American woman would be.
It's just different cultures. Like every culture ain't like the United States. And I feel like that's the mentality that a lot of people have messed up here. We think everything is democratic, everybody thinks this way. And if people don't think this way, they're just not intelligent. Or they're just a lower societal like level than you are. It's just a typical American thing, in my opinion.
So what you saying that's what they saying about the passport bros, that they just like they not on the same level? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said no, and I'm saying you were just saying that people go there and you saying my dollar stretch further and I can meet more women and per se. Like, I'm just saying, does that not make sense to you? Like, why wouldn't you go somewhere where your dollar stretch further? Like, what's the problem with it? Like, so what?
I don't like this shit because it's not just that. Like that's fine. Like if you want to go and stretch a dollar further, that's fine.
And
But to
people have
me,
different cultures, and like some people cultures aren't like Americans, and the woman will call it here being submissive, but that's not really submissive. That's just agreeing and being having good communicative skills. Maybe like
this is what it is, man. Well, I'm gonna keep it real. Niggas just want women that will shut up, cook, clean, have sex, have babies, and stay out the way. Like that's what a lot of men want, especially these passport bros type niggas, and they want it for cheap. Like I said, they found the cheat code, they found the bargain, and that's what they doing. I don't like it, but I will acknowledge that that's a cheap code, and they found the cheat code. It just kind of is what it is. Now, will I?
I just don't like that idea that you're trying to put on it. Is that a negative or positive to you? You say you don't. I guess you say you don't like it.
Is what a negative
Like
or positive?
you said you don't like it, but I'm trying to understand what don't you like about it. You don't like that men are using their money that they earn to go meet other women in different countries. Like what don't you like about it? What's the problem with it?
I don't like. I just don't like the whole terminology and the whole just like the submissive type of thing. Like but you know what though? I think that this is where I should probably reel it back, is because what I look for in a woman is not what other people look for in a woman. But I just think that that's kind of it's almost degrading to me to be like, okay, well, this I just want her for this purpose. I'm gonna get her on a discount. She's gonna have my kids, and I'm gonna support her and all that type of shit. Like that's an old way of
Yeah.
thinking. Women can work. Women have brains. Like
That's my whole point earlier when I was saying, like, these are just the ideas that all women over there don't have any brain or understanding of what they're doing, or like they don't want to do these things, or that's the only thing they want to do. Like it's just like it's a very narrow-minded depiction of a very complicated people, like how people are here. Like people are multifaceted. People have different ideas and things they want to do. Like it's not just because I'm cooking and cleaning, that don't mean they're not doing anything else. Like back in the day, may have meant, or being a trophy wife.
what else you doing?
They can do anything. They can go to school. Like
When
they can start a business. Like there's plenty of stuff. What do you mean?
women didn't have rights for a long time. Like women couldn't vote
No, I'm
for a long
saying I'm
time.
talking about these days.
Oh, these days, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, these days they can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about back in the day. I'm talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the problem with it now? It's like it's making them. I feel like it's knocking women's intelligence over there, saying they don't understand what they're doing. And it's also knocking their cultural aspect of like this is something in their religion and their identity, cultural identity that they normally do as people. As so, what's the problem? Like I don't. Just because that's just how we view. We view like doing typical things like cooking and cleaning as like like I don't understand why that's such high on a totem pole of like what people think about as being submissive. That's not even really being submissive for real. Like just cooking, cleaning, things like that, having someone do that, typical shit that most people grow up probably learn to do. Like that's not being submissive for real. Just doing the bare minimum. It comes down to like it comes down. This is what being submissive to me is. It's when I say something, it always is my way. That's like mentally like that's someone submissive to me. Like I'm, and I feel like that's not what the women are over there though. I feel like they're not just obedient, like how Americans view them. Like I feel like that's just making them less of them mentally or like of their capabilities. When you say they're only just obedient people, slaves over there, we can just go over there and just buy and throw our money around. Like that's an insult to them.
But but when you come through with all your US dollars and you transfer it to, whatever their currency is, you got this dude that's coming through. He could support you forever. Like, what I mean, we don't know. We ain't been over there and we ain't tried to do the shit. We don't really know we ain't talked to no women that's did the shit. Maybe we should have a woman on the podcast that has a passport bro or whatever. But
I
we
mean,
don't
they
really
do that
know.
here. Like, man, make money and go out, spend all this money on girls, and what's the problem? Like, just because they're going out the country and doing the same thing that they're doing here?
I just think that I don't know. It comes down to a larger conversation of like how men see women and how women see men, and a lot of men see women as a piece of meat or somebody to obey their orders and do things like that. And I think the niggas that do that type of shit, the passport bro shit, that's what they go over there for. And that's just not the type of I don't. I mean, we done seen some women do great things. Like we've been seeing women do great things even before they had all the damn rights. That well, most of the rights that we have, right? So it's like to me, it's just a weird thing to me in a progressive society that niggas is still just looking for like cook, clean, fuck, be obedient, shut up, go stay in the room 24/7, bear my children. Like that's just a weird way of thinking to me in 2023. So for niggas to go do that is just weird to me personally.
And this is my thing. Like, that's your viewpoint on it, but I view it as it's just someone on social media these days who put a phrase or a name on it because something that probably happened to them personally, and they just hating just because someone got money and can go out and travel and do something that they can't do.
That's
So
very
they put a
possible.
name on it. Because
Yeah.
if they're going out the country and spending money, they're spending money in their country on women too. Like they're doing the same thing they're doing over there. The men just going wherever they're going here to strip clubs, escorts, whatever they want to do.
But maybe they could be hating because the price too high here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they don't do that for us, but they'll go do it for another woman in another country.
Man,
Is that
the
what it
40
is? You think?
ball, you can get the 40 ball. You can do what you want.
Where? Not here.
Yeah, you can. Go to Detroit.
Stop it, man. You don't want no 40 ball. You know good and damn well.
And plus, man, going out the country, they got a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Like, come on, they can do that here. Like, stop playing with them. Like, that's why I feel like it's just hater. Like, it just that's how I view it. It's just someone online, and they just making a word and a phrase of passport bros, and trying to make it seem like they trying to make it into this negative connotation and a whole subset of men that's doing this. I'm like, no, I just don't believe in that idea at all.
I think we're talking about two different things though. You're talking about just paying for their services like a working girl. Like you're talking about that. But I think passport bros do that too. Like they'll go, spend that $10, that $20, what I'm saying, give five girls to come back with them to the hotel or whatever. But I'm talking about specifically for going to find a mate, like a partner, like a wife. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's the part where it's just kind of strange to me because it's like
Because they finding love in a different country that's strange to you.
that's love.
Why not? Like
What
women
is
are
love?
on like women here screaming and saying, "Oh, I need a guy with six figures at least, 6 foot,"
And
and
this is the
like things
problem.
like that. So it's just
This
like
is the problem. That's why I said it's a larger conversation on,
if
you
dudes
know,
got 60K and like most people in America, like the average person, and they go overseas and get somebody who ain't answer for 6 figures, but it's like that's just finding love because they don't want that person here. But they want a certain looking person though. Like they want to find love and they also want what they want. Like what's wrong with wanting what you want?
nothing. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But I think that there's a disconnect between single men and single women sometimes, where it's like the expectations that we expect of each other. Like we not trying to. I mean, if you 6 feet and you got 100K, and then you know 6 figures, 6 feet, and whatever the fuck else they be saying, like you good. But all the other niggas that don't got that, it's like
They the passport bros. They
exactly, exactly.
like they don't fit in the mold, but they still ain't trying to get bottom of the barrel. Like they just trying
Hmm.
to find love in what they want. Like hey, if it ain't here, like there's billions of people in the world. Not everybody go find love somewhere else. Plenty of fish in the sea. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't still like finding love somewhere else just because like look at why you're doing it though, because you can't afford to find love in your home country in the U.S. Like that's why.
We only pet in one aspect. It could be because of finances, but
What else could it be?
be plenty of things. I don't know. I mean, of course, that's the big one that I can think of that we thinking of, but
It's like all the women that I want to deal with here, like they bad as hell, but they want this, they want that. So let me go find me a bad woman over here, and then I'm gonna do that shit like over there. Like I see, in theory, it don't sound bad, but it just
it's
also
just
like
like I feel like I get where you're going now. It's just you feeling like men just feel like they can find a more low maintenance, good looking woman overseas, and they're how much they can afford is low maintenance to them. And it's probably high maintenance over there to the guys over there.
yeah, yeah,
Like
exactly.
that people here, like so. I'm like, what's the problem? Like, let's stop hating.
When is it gonna get to the point where when is it gonna get to the point where niggas just boss their life up versus getting their passport and going to do that? Like I feel like
What's the question? What are you asking again? You
women I
rephrase
feel
that.
like women would respect it if them passport bros just boss their life up and like
They
just
are bossing their life up. They're going out the country. They
that's not
bossed
bossing your
up.
life up.
They
That's
living
like
life. They enjoying it.
no, I
That
don't
is
think
bossing.
so.
That's part of bossing your life up is going to see life. What life got to offer you. That's part of bossing your life up.
No, I do agree with that because like you don't know, like maybe you could find love over there for sure, like
Like
over
stop hating because
wherever.
I'm overseas talking to women that look good. Like what's your problem? Stop hating over here. Like you wasn't taught me here. Like I
I
don't know. It
don't
just
like
seemed
see
like
I don't like that though.
it
I
seemed a
don't
little
like that.
haterish. I don't like let me go over there and like have fun. Like
I don't like that mentality. Like, oh, y'all want to fuck with me no way over here. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that mentality.
I'm only saying like that could be like they could have people fucking with them there. If they got money, they could have found someone here. I'm just saying the idea and is probably they're thinking of as someone who don't get no one here and they're finding a whatever. Well, we already know what a good looking woman in their eyes. I'm gonna put it that way over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. The crazy thing is, like you talked about the term, like, oh, they coined this just to hate. But I've been seeing even before I ever heard the term passport bros. I've been seeing people vlogging and they over. I don't even want to name countries because I don't want to like shit on people. But I've seen people vlog and they like, oh yeah, I got shorty over here. Her services was woo woo woo. Like so, niggas been doing this, like you said. Like it's not a new thing. I just think that people been vlogging it too. Like what, you know, why is everything content these days, right? Like why is niggas vlogging them going to other countries fucking bitches? I mean women. Like why is
Man,
that content?
we all know it's big industry, and it's just like dudes here. One, it's just like once you finally travel and you go to a country where your dollar does expand more, it's a different world for you. You don't. It's something you're not used to, so it's like you're like, wow, really? Like guys, and this is how the community is, and people are living here. Like you're the tourist, you're the person with money now, like more money than most people here. Probably like being that person. It's like, of course, you would put that on social media. People not used to that type of feeling, so yeah, you can put that on social media.
That's
Like
the
you're in a
first
different
thing you do.
country, like you're gonna be showing the water, the women, the parties, the food. Like you're doing all that. You're having fun. You're on vacation.
But just do it then. Just stop showing. Niggas gonna learn one day to stop putting shit on the internet. Because we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Nigga one trying to vlog and be like, "Yo, look, I got shorty. She was $20." Like niggas gonna learn to stop putting shit on the internet and
Yeah,
telling their whole
that
life.
that price is relative. Like it's $20 there, but to them that $20 is probably like 100 or like 200.
And that's
Like
why
it
it's a
go it's
cheat code.
stretch. Yeah,
That's
that's what
why
I'm
it's a cheat
saying.
code. Exactly. So I understand where it comes from, but I just think it's just some cornball shit to me. But that's my humble opinion, which is very humble. But other than that, I think we've been talking about that shit long enough.
I
We
feel
can
like you
get
might as
off
well
of that.
say what it is. What it is. Like
Yeah.
find a woman and paying for it, you just find that cornball in general.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like strip clubs cool. Like obviously it's great to watch, it's fun to watch, but like paying for the shit, like I don't know. I'd rather just take her out on a date, you know what I'm saying? Some good Ruth Chris, some good whatever the
Corny.
fuck. Like so paying
Taking
for
woman
dance
out?
pay,
Man, we ain't doing that.
paying for dance. Which one more corny? Paying for dances or paying for dinner? I don't know. Actually,
Dinner.
no. I was about to say.
Like, like what are you talking about?
I thought about it when I said it. I was like, wait.
They know, at least when I go to Chick-fil-A, they know exactly what I'm gonna do with this 40.
Exactly. I still would never. I would never forget the time when I was at the strip club. You was there too. We was at Pantheon, and I think I paid
Oh, we
for a
just gonna
dance.
call people out. Okay.
So what, nigga? This is strip club. What, we grown men. What are you talking about? Okay, Ryan wasn't there. It was just me,
I
and
don't be there like that.
so I had bought a dance from this nice young woman, and I remember she was like, she said something to me. She was like, "Damn, you looking at me so sexually." I was like, "What you what?" I'm like, "What you?" Like I
So
was
come
so
get this
confused.
50.
Not the 50, not in there. You got to pay at least probably 150, 200. But
Then come over here and start dancing, bitch. And then throw the money.
is that weird though? Like I
That should
thought
have
that
been a
was
response, boss response right there. Like, get over here then.
that is damn. See, hindsight is 2020. But like I just thought that was a weird thing for her to say in a strip club. Like we not supposed to
I
be.
guess it depends. What look she gave you? She looked frightened?
It wasn't frightened, but like she just said it like she was taken aback. Like damn, like you looking at me sexually.
Like, I'm
I
a
was like,
piece of
huh?
meat.
I was like, but are we not at the strip club? Like
I
that's why I
just
was
got
so
my
confused.
ass cheeks just out here, like, and niggas really looking at me like they really want me.
And I respect like her not wanting to be looked at in that way. I understand that, but we're in the
Like, she
strip
thought she just looked
club.
at you like Drake. Like, he was like, you the type of nigga that we need to go out to dinner. Like,
Low
that's
key,
exactly
that might have been what it was, but yeah, I just thought that was strange, and so ever since then, I just always been like, wait, I've been trying to rethink like, what is the strip club for? Like, should we not look like what should we?
Damn, she had you reevaluate your entire experience.
Because it's like, what's the strip club? What is it for? If we not to be there for to look at women sexually, right? Like,
You
I'm
should have wore
confused.
buffs.
Yeah, if I would have wore buff, she would have been like, "So,
Yeah.
where you
Like,
park
that was
at?"
the problem. Like, you just didn't have no glasses. You just like to hide your eyes. That must have been a problem.
Low key. Damn. Now, yeah, that's so. Yeah. Next time I go, I'm gonna wear some buffs and I'm gonna have a totally different experience. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into this last segment, man.
Yes, sir.
Love and hate, man. So we talk about three different singles that we heard. We talk about do we love them, do we hate them. As simple as that. So let's go ahead and get into this first one that I got for you. Let's see. Your first one for this week for this episode is "From Nothing" by Key Glock. Love or hate?
So I love this song. This is from Key Glock's latest album, Glaucoma 2, the second coming of Glaucoma. It's a really good track. I mean, I really enjoyed it. had some really great songs on the type project. But just in terms of this song in particular, it's it's Key Glock at his best, really. If you was a fan of his past projects, and he has like that, this beat is kind of giving me very southern, bass heavy beat, and him rapping how he usually raps, and that's where he usually shines. This is the type of song that
Hmm.
he shines on, so and the beat that he normally shines on. So I love it.
Okay,
All
super
right,
dope.
so I'm gonna go to your first track that we got here. Chloe, Chris Brown. How does it feel?
Yeah, I know niggas was mad at this because niggas was mad that Chloe worked with Chris Brown, who I think we all know the things Chris Brown done been through, so I ain't gonna go through all that. But niggas was mad. I didn't hear the song, I saw the backlash first, but I just today I chose to listen to the song and just kind of see what the shit was talking about. And the song is actually really, really good. I was pleasantly surprised, and it actually samples one of my favorite songs, or one of my favorite samples. From back then. It's a Dionne Warwick song called, what's it called? You're gonna need me, I think is what it's called, which was sampled in Usher Throwback. It was a Fabulous sampled it in a song with Tiana Taylor, but great sample. So once I hear a sample that I love, I'm pretty much gonna love the song. But the vocals was great too. Chris Brown and Chloe can sing their ass off. So great record, man. So check out that one.
Man, I know that's a good song.
Hell yeah.
Chris Brown, Chloe Bailey, gotta be a good track right there.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, they both got great voices, so you can't lose. You know what I mean? Great sample, great voices, great lyrics. So other than that, let's go ahead and get into your next joint. Let's talk about JD's Revenge by John Doe. Love or hate?
She killed this record. Mind blown. This is probably my song of the week, and I've been having it on repeat over and over again. This has made me so excited for her next project. As you know, like I rate her album very highly in 2021, one of my top albums. So I know she's been working, and this record sounds like that to me. That's exactly the sound that I want to hear from her. Um, so yeah, shout out to John Doe, and go check out JD's Revenge. So the next song that I got here for you is DMX and Lil Wayne. Can't Nobody.
Man, I've been saying this. People just been every time I talk about Lil Wayne, for these past couple of years, I've been telling people like go listen to his features recently. Like Lil Wayne is still one of the best rappers alive. To me, you know what I mean? Everything today is in my humble opinion. But Lil Wayne can
Definitely
still
one of the
rap
best rappers for sure.
of all time for sure. But even right now, I feel like that nigga still like I just think people just not paying attention to his features and stuff like that. He ain't dropped a project in so long. But so this song, it don't have a DMX verse. It just samples DMX, just saying, ad libbing and saying. There's also an excerpt from DMX at the beginning as well, just talking about can't nobody, can't nobody, you know, fuck with me on this rap shit, basically. And that's basically what Wayne was talking about. Great verses. Only thing I didn't like necessarily was the chorus. It just didn't. It just could have been better to me. Something just didn't click with me with the chorus, but other
Swiss
than that,
Beats.
yeah, the beat was cool too. It wasn't like a,
You know,
a
Swiss
knockout
Beats be
beat.
just looping shit like on when it comes to hooks.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, no, he.
That's his whole thing.
I didn't even hear Swiss Beats on the hook. He was on the hook too.
No, I mean I'm saying that like that's his beat. Like he,
Okay,
he
yeah, yeah.
produced that song and everything. Like it sounds like a Swiss Beat song. And Lil Wayne's always working with Swiss Beats.
Hmm.
And that's the one thing about Lil Wayne in particular. Like when he work on projects, I wish he would work with producers more. I know he's known to work with Swiss Beats. He's probably the only producer that I know he made like a whole project with. I don't think Lil Wayne ever made a project with one producer any other time.
Manny Fresh probably back in the day,
I don't
like
know,
before
but
the Carters. Yeah,
it's normally a mix of songs or whatever he's putting together. So I would like him to kind of do what Jay Z does, when Jay-Z works with like some top producers and works on an entire project from start to end. Um, what I would just like to see Lil Wayne with some different type of producers and work on a project other than Swiss Beats, because Swiss Beats has typical style. Like it's good songs, good music, whatever. But I want to see him work with a, a Tyler the Creator. I'm throwing that name out there, or like all I don't even know. Like I just want to hear like some interesting producers and Lil Wayne work together. Because like what you're saying, we hear him on some features and it brings out a different Lil Wayne. Like in terms of his verse, the sound, like instead of like when we get a record with a beat like this from Swiss, we already know what Lil Wayne's lane is gonna be. But I want to hear him challenge an entire project with another producer doing something else. Like I know he would kill it.
I don't know who I want to hear him with though. Like these days, I don't want to hear him with the newer producers. Like I'm good on that. It would have to be somebody old school, Alchemist, maybe a Tyler the Creator, like you said, or I don't know, maybe Just Blaze got some shit for him. Maybe I don't know,
I'm just
but I
thinking
don't
of
want.
artists that he had great features lately or within the past few years. Like if he just worked with them on some like an entire project, like I would be mind like blown again. Like
Maybe him and Hit Boy.
I was even gonna say Hit Boy, but I didn't want to even say Hit Boy for real.
I think that could work
Like
because Hit Boy got different swags and different styles of his beats. Like all his shit don't sound the same.
that's not what I want to hear. That's why I said I want more of a like a Frank Ocean type creative beat style kind of album project. Like I want that kind of sound. That's what I want to hear from. This is just my personal preference, people. Um, I want to hear those kind of beats. Um, Hit Boy is more of like yeah, like more Nas, like legendary. Like it's very hard hitting beats in terms of like you just feel it. Like it just like it's a bass. It's a I mean he Hit Boy all around the board. So it would definitely be a great project with him. But I guess I'm just thinking of someone else.
That's just not what you. Yeah, but like I said, that's why I said him because he got different swags. Like he's not gonna give him the Nas beats because Lil Wayne don't need to be on the Nas beats at all. So I don't know. I just don't want him with Metro Boomin. I don't want him with Band Play who be working with Key Clock. I don't want to hear him with that. I don't want to hear him with
Yeah,
all
what
these
high?
raised beats.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm
Yeah,
trying to hear him like piano and like jazzy kind of be like put out his. I don't even want to. I don't know what I want to compare this to with Jay Z for real. I don't want to say 444 or maybe no, not that. I would say his project with um Jay Electronica, like those kind of beats or something. I don't know what artist that was. It could have been um what's a typical artist that producers that Jay Z works with?
I mean
Like
Just Blaze,
Nine,
Kanye.
Yeah, Jizz Blaze. Um, that would be a dope project, Just Blaze and Wayne.
Yeah, but I don't know what his beats sound like in 2023 though. And they might not. I mean, they're still gonna hit. But like, what about
He
like a
was
premiere?
going crazy. Just Blaze on Freddie Gibbs album,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
He was.
going crazy with the beats. Premiere, nah, I ain't trying to hear Premiere.
I was about to say he could take it back to premiere or Pete Rock or something like that.
I ain't trying to hear that. That old school boom bap. Like, I'm good. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I'm not trying to hear that. Nah, it ain't none against them. Like it's definitely love and respect. But yeah, so let's go and get to this next song. Quavo Greatness.
So this song, I'm gonna try not to shit on it because you know what, I don't even want to shit on it. It was a it was a good record. It's not a song that I would play over and over again. But I think it was good. You know, obviously we've heard from him. What was that song that he released for Takeoff? I can't remember the name. I didn't hear that song. I didn't want to listen to that shit. Sounded like it was gonna be sad. This one was more upbeat. You know, well, yeah, it was upbeat. It was definitely upbeat. He was just talking his shit. Just talking about how, Take should have been here, talking about Migos done. Just really talking his shit, basically.
Definitely been in the studio working
Yeah.
non-stop, like talking about it, putting his feelings on the track. Wasn't not shy to put out music after what happened. He's foot on the gas, mind completely in his work. It seems like.
Yeah, so it seemed like he dealing with it, in a way that he can, in a way that he know. Like it's got to be sad to just be in the studio and Take can't be right there. Like that's messed up. But other than that, it's a good record. I'll go ahead and say love because it's still just like something that's just so shocking that Takeoff is not here, on this earth right now. So I'm gonna say love. It was a good song, good beat. Um,
Mama,
yeah, he definitely threw one of them on there. Was that? I thought that was Quavo that used to do that because they all used to do like specific. No, 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 no. I think Takeoff did used to do the mama, or they might have always did that ad lib. But
I'm pretty sure that was Takeoff doing that.
yeah, I think it was. But yeah, man, good song. I'll say love on that one. Let's go ahead and get into your last joint. Special, Kid featuring Don Toliver. Special, love or hate.
I've been in. I guess you were talking about some different kind of songs and music you've been into, and I went and listened to this Kid, and his last project wasn't too bad. Like I like the songs, and it's definitely it made me think though. Like listen to his music and how much love and people overseas and things like that love his music. When you listen to his music, it just sounds like everyone's just must be living in complete bliss and love. And when I listen to it, just like just very tropical sound. Like I'm like, man, everyone over there must be living like happy with they just. That's kind of feel I get from the music. Maybe it's just me,
Seemed like it.
but
I don't know.
but yeah, I mean, I love the song. I mean, it's hard to hate. Like I feel like a lot of the songs I listen to from him though, it kind of blends together though when I'm listening to it. Maybe just because
Okay.
it's like overseas and different. I guess not different language, just the sound just kind of blends together for me.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like Hispanic music, kind of how it typically kind of blends together for me. But yeah, I mean, I love this track. It's dope.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I think we got one more, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that
No,
was
that's
it.
it.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
was it.
That's what I was waiting
Yeah,
on you.
yeah, that was it for sure. But yeah, man, thank you for listening. If you got this far, hopefully you did.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did, we appreciate it. And this has been the Friends Podcast, man. We out.
Peace.